The world of psychedelics, spirituality, and technological progress are all interwoven. It's all part of a cosmic symphony. One of the most prominent people to point that out is Timothy Leary in his book, Chaos and Cyberculture.
Welcome to More Than a Label, where we explore profound spiritual mysteries that link all history together. If you're seeking a new way of seeing reality beyond labels, you're in the right place. In this video, we navigate a historical odyssey, uncovering how psychedelics have ignited the fires of the digital revolution. Join us as we reveal the hidden threads connecting these seemingly disparate realms, weaving a fascinating narrative that illuminates the evolution of our digital world today. The connection between psychedelics, spirituality, and technological innovation is a fascinating exploration that delves into consciousness, creativity, and cultural evolution. Throughout history, psychedelics, known for altering consciousness, have been closely linked to spiritual practices in various cultures. People often report transcendental experiences similar to mystical encounters when under the influence of psychedelics. This connection between psychedelics and spirituality has inspired technological innovation, as visionaries and tech enthusiasts seek to incorporate the profound insights from psychedelic experiences into digital creativity. Examining the historical impact of psychedelics on the digital revolution reveals a story filled with countercultural movements, intellectual exploration, and paradigm shifts. In the 1960s and 1970s, a period marked by both psychedelic experimentation and the birth of the digital age, influential figures like Steve Jobs openly acknowledged the role of psychedelics. The countercultural movement of that era, often associated with psychedelics, set the stage for a culture that challenged the traditional norms and embraced unconventional ideas. This cultural shift played a crucial role in shaping the ethos of Silicon Valley, the hub of technological innovation. The historical journey connecting psychedelics and the digital revolution reflects a dynamic interplay between consciousness-expanding substances, visionary thinking, and the ever-changing landscape of technology. The use of psychedelics also has deep and ancient meaning, connected to spiritual practices that go beyond time and space. Exploring these roots takes us through the rituals of indigenous cultures, where psychedelics were seen as pathways to the divine. In the Amazon rainforest, shamans have used psychedelic plants for centuries in rituals that connect the earthly and spiritual realms. Ayahuasca, made from the Banisteriopsis caapi vine and Psychotria viridis leaves, is a central part of these rituals. Amazonian communities see it as a sacred teacher, a way to access ancestral wisdom, and a means of connecting with natural spirits. Ayahuasca ceremonies are carefully planned, including chants, drumming, and symbolic gestures. These practices enhance the psychedelic experience and create a harmonious connection between the shaman, participants, and spiritual entities. Indigenous communities believe the psychedelic experience goes beyond the individual, providing insights into collective consciousness and the interconnectedness of all life. In North America, Native American cultures have a different approach to the spiritual use of psychedelics. Vision quests involve ingesting substances like peyote, a cactus with the psychedelic compound mescaline. Seekers embark on a solitary journey in the wilderness, encountering spiritual guides and gaining revelations about the cosmos. Peyote ceremonies emphasize the interconnectedness of the natural and supernatural realms through sacred songs and communal bonding. Participants believe the psychedelic experience allows communication with deities, ancestors, and universal forces. This communion is both personal and communal, strengthening tribal bonds and fostering a shared spiritual identity. The exploration of psychedelics in the ancient world extends to the Orphic mystery cults in ancient Greece. Rooted in religious and philosophical thought, these cults used rituals, including the consumption of psychoactive substances, to seek profound spiritual experiences. The Orphic tradition focused on the legendary figure Orpheus, who descended into the underworld and returned with sacred knowledge. Orphics engaged in secretive rituals, aiming for a higher state of consciousness and a closer connection to the divine, using a psychoactive substance called kykeon. Kykeon's exact composition is a mystery, but it likely contained barley, water, and possibly psychoactive ingredients like ergot. Its consumption was part of Orphic initiation ceremonies, where participants sought a transformative soul journey. The tradition emphasized the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth, viewing kykeon as a sacrament facilitating communion with cosmic forces. Anthropologically, these ancient rituals aren't just about altered states of consciousness. They express cultural identity, transmit wisdom, and pursue spiritual truth. As Timothy Leary tells us in his book, Chaos and Cyberculture, the generation that came of age in the 1960s, the baby boomers, found themselves in a unique socio-cultural landscape. Economic prosperity, coupled with the absence of immediate existential threats, allowed for a sense of indulgence and self-assuredness. This era was marked by a rejection of traditional norms, as the youth sought a more profound understanding of life and consciousness. In examining historical trends, it becomes evident that societies tend to introspect and seek meaning during periods of stability and affluence. The counterculture that emerged in the 60s was not merely a fleeting trend, but a global phenomenon, with influences from prominent figures like Aldous Huxley, Alan Watts, and Timothy Leary. All of these pioneers advocated for expanded consciousness through psychedelic experiences. Contrary to being a campus fad, the 60s drug culture was a manifestation of a broader movement encompassing art, music, and spirituality. The psychedelic substances used during this time were not merely recreational, but tools for inner exploration, drawing parallels to ancient religious practices. The 1960s counterculture was a period of radical social and cultural upheaval, and one of the most distinctive elements shaping this era was the widespread use of psychedelics. From LSD to psilocybin mushrooms, these substances played a pivotal role in influencing not only the mindset, but also the creative expressions of the time, particularly in the realms of music and art. Psychedelics became a muse for artists seeking to expand the boundaries of creativity. The psychedelic rock movement comes from that period. The hallucinogenic experiences of rock artists in this period often found expression in the experimental and trippy sounds that define the genre. Lyrics, too, were infused with mystical and surreal psychedelic influences. The widespread use of psychedelics during the 1960s had a profound impact on societal norms and cultural paradigms. The counterculture rejected the conservative values of the time and sought alternative lifestyles rooted in peace, love, and expanded consciousness. Psychedelics were seen as a tool for personal and collective transformation, leading to the embrace of communal living, Eastern spirituality, and a rejection of the mainstream materialism. As the 60s progressed, societal norms underwent a renaissance, and the effects were profound on art, literature, and even scientific thinking. The vilification of psychedelics in subsequent decades overshadowed their role in shaping this cultural transformation. The decline of the LSD boom in the 70s was a sign of a cultural shift. Supply issues led to a scarcity of high-quality LSD, prompting a more careful approach among users. However, this decline did not mark the end of the quest for altered states of consciousness. Rather, it spurred innovation and interest in the third generation of psychoactive substances in the 80s. In the frontiers of the computer culture, during the electronic 90s, Timothy Leary reflected on the intersection of artificial intelligence, psychedelics, and the works of Hermann Hesse. Leary observed a revival of interest in Hesse's final work, Magister Ludi, or The Glass Bead Game. particularly in computer-centric hubs like Massachusetts Avenue in Cambridge and Palo Alto. Leary drew parallels between Hess's visionary portrayal of a future where human intelligence is augmented by a device called the glass bead game and the emerging electronic mind appliances of the late 20th century, notably referencing the Apple computer. He suggested that Hess's foresight in anticipating a device for converting thoughts to digital elements resembled the electronic mind appliances that began appearing in the consumer market around 1976. Leary talks about his personal connection with Hermann Hesse, which traced back to Aldous Huxley, who was one of the pioneering philosophers to write about psychedelics. In 1960, Huxley, while serving as the Carnegie Visiting Professor at MIT, delivered a series of lectures on What a Piece of Work is Man. Leary, associated with the Harvard Psychedelic Drug Research Project, engaged with Huxley, who introduced him to Hesse's theory of the 3 stages of human development. These stages encompass the tribal sense of unity, the polarities of industrial societies, and the rediscovery of the oneness of all things. Leary delved into Hesse's background, highlighting his literary career's evolution from aestheticism to melancholy realism. Hesse's experiences, paralleling Huxley's, were rooted in intellectual, classical, and idealistic backgrounds. Hesse's prophetic work, The Glass Bead Game, was recognized as a portrayal of a future society where a universal language emerged through a thought-processing game, which sounds a lot like what's happening with these new AI tools. Transitioning to the evolution of computers, Leary acknowledged Hesse's anticipation of digital thought processing, noting the contributions of earlier thinkers like Pythagoras and Lao Tzu. The narrative highlighted the emergence of artificial intelligence and the fascination with AI projects by the 80s. Timothy Leary writes, "We are mutating into another species, from aquaria to the terrarium, and now we're moving into Siberia. We are creatures crawling to the center of the cybernetic world. But cybernetics is the stuff of which the world is made. Matter is simply frozen information. The critics of the information age see everything in the negative, as if the quantity of information can lead to a loss of meaning." They said the same thing about Gutenberg. Never before has the individual been so empowered. But in the information age, you do have to get the signals out. Popularization means making it available to the people. Today, the role of the philosopher is to personalize, popularize, and humanize computer ideas so that people can feel comfortable with them. The fact is that a few of us saw what was happening, and we wrestled the power of LSD away from the CIA, and now the power of computers away from IBM, just as we rescued psychology away from the doctors and analysts. In every generation, I've been a part of a group of people who, like Prometheus, have wrestled with the power in order to hand it back to the individual. Timothy Leary talked about the human brain, with its billions of neurons. He likened it to a computer in a universe of information processors. Cognitive psychologists view the mind as software programming the neural hardware. Psychological terms are redefined in computer concepts, studying memory, learning, creativity, and emotions as data processes. In an electronic culture, mystics of the past couldn't describe visions in cybernetic terms. The brain isn't assumed to be a computer, but using cybernetic language enhances understanding. The analogy between computer artifacts and internal biological processes parallels historical scientific advancements. So, we can see that from early on, the world of mind-expanding drugs and artificial intelligence were intertwined. The resurgence of interest in LSD in recent years, thanks to the internet, aligns with a broader global shift in consciousness. So, let's talk a little bit about how the digital revolution ties into the situation. Now, let's shift our focus to Silicon Valley. Located in California, this place has been a key player in the global digital revolution. The way psychedelics influenced the tech industry is similar to what took place in the 60s art scene. Steve Jobs, Apple's co-founder, attributed his LSD experiences to fostering creativity. Other Silicon Valley figures like Bill Gates and Elon Musk have acknowledged experimenting with psychedelics. The tech elite's interest in altered states goes beyond entrepreneurship. Silicon Valley has embraced practices like LSD microdosing and ayahuasca retreats to enhance creativity and problem solving. Many in Silicon Valley claim psychedelics positively impact cognitive processes, opening doors to unconventional thinking. Practices like LSD microdosing, consuming small amounts regularly, and ayahuasca retreats are gaining popularity for their alleged benefits in focus, creativity, and a holistic approach to personal and professional development. The intersection of altered consciousness and tech problem solving is a fascinating topic. It shows that technological innovation is moving towards a more holistic understanding of the human mind's potential for innovation beyond linear logic. Psychedelic-induced altered states are believed to inspire unique perspectives in fields like software design and algorithmic problem solving. Exploring how psychedelics impact technology is interesting. It leads to advancements in different areas. For example, designing interfaces for apps and games, called user interface design, has been influenced by psychedelics. The cool and unconventional interfaces of some modern apps show how altered states of consciousness inspired creative thinking in Silicon Valley. Also, psychedelics have affected how we solve complex problems with algorithms, which are the backbone of many tech breakthroughs. People influenced by altered states approach challenges with a different way of thinking, sometimes leading to breakthroughs that a usual approach might miss. A fascinating area of study is how psychedelics and artificial intelligence connect. The way our consciousness expands seems similar to how machine learning algorithms evolve. Some experts suggest that the unique perspectives gained from psychedelics could be useful in understanding and improving AI development. In recent times, there has been a noticeable revival of interest in psychedelics, marking what some describe as a contemporary psychedelic renaissance. This renewed fascination stems from a variety of factors, including shifting societal attitudes, scientific investigations into potential therapeutic uses of psychedelics, and a broader cultural trend towards holistic well-being. Notably, this resurgence isn't confined to counterculture circles, but has permeated various segments of society, finding a particularly receptive audience in Silicon Valley, where it converges with the region's tech-centric ethos. Timothy Leary talks about how the fusion of psychedelic and cybernetic cultures prepared a generation for a hands-on, interactive approach to technology. The personal computer and the smartphone became tools for personal freedom that reshaped societal dynamics. The 20th century philosophical achievement was understanding the universe as information processors with bits and bytes, thanks to quantum physics. Einstein and quantum physicists digitized reality, revealing a universe of ever-changing particles and probabilities. The personal computer, like Apple's Macintosh, represented a quantum jump in human evolution. It provides a user-friendly interface for individuals to navigate the chaotic, digitized universe. The evolution of Homo sapiens electronicus involves preparing for quantum speak, thinking and acting in terms of digital clusters. Artists and entertainers historically prepared cultures for paradigm shifts. The 20th century cultural movements encouraged individuality, humanism, and personal freedom, paralleling the transition to the industrial age. The Renaissance prepared Europeans for the printing press, and the 20th century prepared for personal computers by stripping away cultural rigidities. The fusion of quantum physics and personal computing defines a new breed, characterized by high individual intelligence and the ability to communicate in a digitized universe. The intersection of psychedelics with technology isn't just a cultural trend. It holds the potential to contribute to a broader shift in societal consciousness. The ongoing discourse around psychedelics, combined with advancements in neuroscience, prompts contemplation about the possible role of these substances in shaping our collective perspective. The ripple effect of psychedelics extends to the whole world. In the contemporary psychedelic renaissance, we witness a revival of interest in psychedelics, not just for recreation, but for therapeutic and consciousness-expanding uses. Let us know in the comments section what you think, and God bless you in your consciousness expansion journey. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you found this video valuable. Peace.